Yes, indeed. What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing, and we back at it with another boxing video. So I just listened to a PBC podcast, which featured two fighters on it. It featured the first person that they interviewed, and I'm not too sure. This was my first time ever listening to a PBC podcast. I'd never heard of it before, but I seen it on my timeline on Twitter, so I decided to click. Deontay Wilder, has been kind of incognito, MIA, ever since February 22nd. He revealed himself once when he made that Instagram video saying, your king is back, etc. So I was definitely interested in seeing what the man Deontay Wilder has to say. Like I said, he's been MIA. And so I clicked on the link and I listened to the podcast. It had Anthony Durrell in the first place. It was the first interview. He gave his insight on what's going on with the coronavirus, especially in his city of Flint, Michigan, and how they still have water issues. Now, this is another issue with the COVID-19 that's placed upon the people there. So it was a pretty insightful interview from the dog Durrell. But I was really interested. I'm not gonna lie on what Deontay Wilder had to say because, Deontay Wilder basically, he came out and said that he doesn't see Tyson Fury as a champion. You know what I'm saying? Despite losing the man Tyson Fury, via seventh round TKO, his corner throwing in the towel. You know what I mean? To put the first O on Deontay Wilder's resume. Deontay Wilder feels that Tyson Fury isn't a world isn't a, does he feels that he's not a champion, and he says in the third fight there'll be a lot of answers that will he'll answer a lot of questions about who's a better fighter between the two. You know what I mean? So Wilder, kept emphasizing in the beginning of the interview when they got into what happened or if he's had time to reflect on February 22nd, and he basically said it wasn't me. You know what I mean? He said, "quote It wasn't me." You know what I mean? He said he felt he was a zombie, and you know, within the first 15 minutes of the fight or going into the fight, Deontay Wilder was basically saying he wasn't me, but he didn't reveal what basically was the problem. You know what I mean? Um, but he said he will reveal what issues he was going through at a later time, but he doesn't want to keep harping on what happened and basically looking like he's making excuses. You know what I'm saying? So Deontay Wilder, he spoke candidly with the people. I didn't sense any sense of a lack of confidence. You know what I mean? He looks pretty amped to get into the third fight. You know what I mean? He looks eager to get back in position to go back for his belt, and that's all you would want from any former world champion. You know what I mean? You check it, especially a man who reigned for like 5 years with the WBC title at heavyweight. You know what I mean? Look, there's a lot of people, and this. Let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest. The people who hate Deontay Wilder do not want to see a third fight. You know what I mean? Now, some are objective fans, and they really just doesn't matter about whom they like and whom they don't like. They basically feel Deontay Wilder just doesn't have the skills to pay the bills to even beat Tyson Fury in a third fight. Now I can respect those people's opinion, you know what I mean? Because they haven't shown any you know what I'm saying, any imbalance or impartiality towards Deontay Wilder and then, hyping up another fighter. These people have stayed neutral basically, and if they feel that Deontay Wilder can't beat him in a third fight, I can respect that opinion. I could respect it more than people who just don't want to see Wilder get back in position. Maybe it's because of the fear that they think Wilder can get back in position to win himself a world title, win back his world title. And those type of fans are not real boxing fans, you know what I mean? Really and truly, you know what I'm saying? And what's one thing for sure, two things for certain, you know what I mean? When Anthony Joshua lost his world title, I felt that he should go back for an immediate rematch. Whether I'm a fan of him or not, I wanted him to get back in the ring to see if he'll get his belt back. And I was really curious to see if Andy Ruiz can defend that world title and retain it. He obviously didn't. My answers, my questions got answered basically on that particular night on December 1st or was it December 7th when AJ and Andy Ruiz had their rematch, you know what I mean? as the champion, if there's a rematch clause, there's a contract, you deserve to go back, win, lose, or draw. If there's a rematch contract or a rematch clause, you deserve to go back in the ring and fulfill that contractual obligation. You know what I'm saying? Now, Deontay Wilder, you know what I'm saying? You know, looks like he basically also said something to the effect that he went through. He had bicep surgery after the fight. You know what I mean? Um, I'm gonna basically read you some quotes of what the guy Deontay Wilder said on that PBC podcast. He said, "quote There were a lot of things that went on, and a lot of things I don't want to talk about at this moment. I can't believe the things that happened were happening to me. I'm still reflecting on it, and I'm trying to figure out some things, trying to figure some things out. People that know boxing know that wasn't Deontay Wilder that night. I was a zombie that night. I can't talk about a lot of things, but it wasn't Deontay Wilder. You could tell from the mask and my reaction to certain things that I was doing. You could tell by the mask and the reaction that you can tell from the mask and my reaction to certain things that I was doing in the ring. And you can look at the first fight from the second fight and you can tell it was two different people. You don't go backward. You go on the hunt that night. I wasn't myself. I felt like a zombie. There's a lot of things I really can't say. I can only get stronger and learn from the situation to get better. It's not over. In my eyes, I don't see Fury as a champion. It's still going. He ain't the champion yet. Period. End quote. Now, I'm a fan of Deontay Wilder with no apologies, you know what I mean? And nobody gonna come on these YouTube streets and try to change my view or whether I like Deontay Wilder, just like I don't go on anybody's YouTube page, commenters, uploaders, or anybody and try and influence them to like a particular fighter or dislike a particular fighter. That's not what we do over here, you know what I'm saying? But whether I agree with Deontay Wilder in this particular instance, I disagree with him, you know what I mean? I disagree that Fury isn't the champion, because I saw the fight. I saw every single second of the fight. I've watched that fight at least 4 times, you know what I mean? I've watched it at least the morning after the fight, and the fight has been aired on ESPN and Fox Sports, you know what I mean? Um, they aired the rematch, and I watched them both times when it was on ESPN and on Fox Sports. You know what I'm saying? And Deontay Wilder, I gave him round one. That never changed. For my initial scorecard when I first saw the fight, excuse me, I gave Deontay Wilder round one. Everything else after that, round two was kind of close too. You know what I mean? But I gave that one to Fury, and everything after that, it was all Fury. You know what I'm saying? But I disagree with Deontay Wilder 100% that, that Fury isn't the champion. You know what I mean? You're not the champion anymore. That's just the facts of the matter. The truth of the matter is you don't got Sophia with you in Alabama no more. For those who don't know who Sophia is, that's what Deontay Wilder used to call that green belt when he first won that title versus Tavern. That Sophia talk kind of dwindled down as he had many more title defenses, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if he still kept talking about Sophia, and really cherish Sophia, maybe he might have retained the belt. But in reality, the man got himself a beautiful, nice fiance. You know what I'm saying? And maybe she replaced his feelings about his love for the green belt was replaced by his love for an actual real physical woman who they have a newborn child with, you know what I mean? So that might be a factor, you know what I mean? I'm not 100% positive, but the fact is he don't talk about Sophia like he used to, you know what I mean? But like I said, I disagree with Wilder, you know what I mean? And that that ain't gonna change nothing about how I feel about Wilder. There's people that I love. I could love my pops too. You know what I mean? And we might disagree on certain things, but that's just a fact. That don't make my love no stronger or no less for him just because we disagree. And Deontay Wilder, I think that you ain't got your green belt no more. Guess who has it? Oh, the title is in England, as well as a Ring magazine belt and the lineal title that you could have taken back to Alabama yourself. You know what I mean? On that particular night, this is talking about stuff that wasn't you and that was a zombie look. They tried to say the same thing about Anthony Joshua. I wasn't buying it. I seen the same guy who I'd always seen. 6'6", always walking, coming to the ring in a white robe with white trunks, Anthony Joshua. That was the same guy in Madison Square Garden. Maybe the lights were a little too bright. You know what I mean? Maybe it was a lot of pressure fighting in a new country, new Gotham, New York City, Manhattan, the famed Madison Square Garden. Maybe those kind of pressures are what made the man Anthony Joshua succumb. You know what I mean? Succumb to the pressures of defending his world title against Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? But you know, when Deontay Wilder says he ain't the champion yet, look, if he could feel that. Man, that was people calling when I. Sorry about that, man. Damn, man. Always somebody calling when I'm trying to do a live stream, dogs. Anyways, man, I kind of lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah. So Deontay Wilder, I disagree with them that Fury is the champion. You know what I'm saying? You was in position to defend your world title for the 11th time, and you failed miserably, just like Anthony Joshua did on his night. But if you hear Anthony Joshua fans talk about it, but maybe it's because Anthony Joshua gained back the belt. But the way they talk about Anthony Joshua, some of them have even said it's like June 1st never really happened before. You know what I mean? Look, man, be much boxing, man. I don't respect no fanboy channels out here, dogs. Whether you're a fanboy of Terrence Crawford, I can't fuck with you. If you're a fanboy of Errol Spence and you're trying to pit both of them against each other and you make videos dissing each other because you're a fan of a particular fighter, I'm not with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Your channel got no credibility out here because at the end of the day, what you gonna do with yourself when your fighter loses? You know what I mean? Some of these guys want suicide watch, not me, not B Marsh Boxing Dogs. You know what I'm saying? I came up here, did my post fight review, you know what I mean? Said exactly what happened, and that was that. We keep it moving. There's a million and one other boxers out there, and the world just don't revolve around Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? It's the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? Great fighters. Ain't nobody ever gone undefeated in the heavyweight division unless your name is Rocky Marciano. But at the end of the day, just look at his last, I don't know, look at his title defenses and look at the guys he fought. He could easily go undefeated, you know what I mean, when he fought those type of guys, you know what I'm saying? But that's for a whole different video. Even Lennox Lewis, he got sparked out twice. But he came back and he got himself in position to get his world titles back. You know what I mean? So in the heavyweight division, that's how it goes. Anthony Joshua got himself back his world titles. Deontay Wilder feels he wants to get back in the third fight. And as a boxing fan, you could applaud that. You know what I'm saying? You could applaud that. Look, he wants to get back in position to get back his world titles, just like Floyd Patterson, the first man to become a two-time world champion. If the man Floyd Patterson wasn't ready or scared of the man Ingemar Johansson, you know what I mean? He would have never been a two-time world champion and have that stake and that claim that he's the first man in heavyweight boxing to become a two-time world champion. You got to go in there just like Sonny Liston, you know what I mean? You got to go back in there regardless of what happened in the first or the second fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, Deontay Wilder, and everybody knows in the boxing world, and this is probably why, and I answer my own questions as we go along. Deontay Wilder would be ridiculed, he'd be shamed, he'd be embarrassed if he does not go back into this third fight to fight the man Tyson Fury. He'd be ridiculed by the boxing public, by the fans, the casuals, the hardcores, etc. Maybe that's why the Deontay Wilder haters don't want him to go back into this third fight with the man Tyson Fury. They want to have that lingering and say, "Oh, Deontay Wilder's a PUSSY. He's a coward. He ain't want to fight Tyson Fury in the third fight. He was what we thought he was all along." That's what they want to say. Just like those people who, when it was the Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao wars, you know, the Manny Pacquiao fans, and I'm a Pacquiao fan, dogs, and I'm a Floyd Mayweather fan too, but I don't subscribe to the BS in between. That's what I wasn't part of, you know what I mean? You check it really and truly, I was just wanted to see the fight. But the Pacquiao fans really and truly just kept wanting to say Floyd is a coward. He ain't even fight me. They wanted Floyd Mayweather to retire without fighting Manny Pacquiao so they could hold that over his head and say he's a chicken. He's a punani. The man them don't want to fight nobody. You know what I mean? He don't want to fight Pacquiao. That's what they wanted, and that's the exact same situation here with what you call it with Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? If I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm bluffing, call my bluff. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? You know. Um. Okay, let's keep it moving with these quotes. Deontay Wilder says, "quote We still got one more fight left. I'm looking forward to showing the world the best of Deontay Wilder." End quote. See, Deontay Wilder is confident with himself as far as him wanting to go back and reclaim what's his. Win, lose, or draw. If he loses, so be it, man. What? The world will still revolve on its axis. People who have issues and problems in this world, whether it's this COVID-19 or even before that, you might still have the same issues. You know what I'm saying? You know, look, man, you might have a little satisfaction. It's a little temporary satisfaction that the man, if Deontay Wilder does lose the third fight, it's going to be history. It's going to be a trilogy, and the better man won, and so be it. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali. Frazier won the first fight. Yeah, Muhammad Ali won the last two. You know what I'm saying? Nobody actually looks at Joe Frazier like anything less just because he lost that battle, even with George Foreman. You know what I mean? It's just, he got beat by a better man, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read some more quotes from the man Deontay Wilder, and he says, quote, "I'm not bothered with losing because it allows me to come back and overcome the difficulties. I know this is going to be the most significant time of my life. I'm not done yet. No, I wasn't surprised by Fury's aggressiveness. At the first sound of the bell, I was more in the retreat mode. I wasn't there. That's all I can tell you. From the first start, I wasn't there. But everything is going to be all right. Trust me. I'm just looking forward to going in there and doing what I got to do. I don't want to say too much and sound like I'm making excuses. I'm happy and in full health, and I'm coming back stronger than ever. I think some people are just going to look for publicity. Um, Boxing is a really crooked business and a corrupt sport as well. You've got to be careful with people you bring in to help, especially when they've reached out before and want to see an opportunity. End quote. That's basically Deontay Wilder talking about different trainers or different people reaching out and giving advice to him. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Ever since he took that second loss, he took a loss to the man Tyson Fury. You check it. Now there's some people who say that Deontay Wilder was hit with rabbit punches. That might be the case, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder got two hands as well. He should have done the same thing, thrown back some rabbit punches. But to me, basically, what I seen was Deontay Wilder's issue was, you know, I think the weight gain, almost gaining 20 pounds, was definitely an issue. You know what I'm saying? I think he was a little slower and wasn't able to move his feet or be as agile as he would like to be. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder was on the ropes a lot, and look, the guy wasn't really even clinching. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the strength to clinch. He was facing a much bigger man, a guy who outweighed him by a good 40, 50 pounds. You know what I mean? We check it. So the man, Tyson Fury, was a stronger guy. So Deontay Wilder wasn't able to really clinch like that. So he had his back against the ropes. And some of those punches were getting in, and he was getting caught with some flush, accurate punches, even when he had his high guard up. You know what I mean? And Deontay Wilder got to work more on a punch variety. You know what I'm saying? He got the uppercut percolating versus Luis Ortiz in the first fight. And an uppercut works both ways for a shorter guy and a taller guy. You know what I mean? He needs to work on uppercuts and his left hook and even setting up shots with the right hand, not telegraphing it like he did so much in the first and the second fight. You know what I mean? So he has a lot to work on, you know what I'm saying? But as long as he's willing to learn and accept the fact that he got a lot to work on, then his chances of regaining back his title are higher than if he's still in denial. And to me, I still feel like Wilder might be in denial. You know what I mean? He's saying all the right things as far as wanting to get back in the ring and trying to get back his title, but if he should feel deep down inside that Tyson Fury ain't the champ. You ain't got to let the whole world know that. You could feel like that man got something, he took something of yours, but he don't really deserve it. That's well and fine. Dig deep, work on those things, and get back your titles. But now you got me interested. Okay, you've been talking this. You said the mask and the costume were a deterrent. They held you back. Okay, now you're talking about the man ain't the real champion. Man got bicep surgery after. Now I'm really interested to see what you're gonna do in a third fight. No excuses. You know what I mean? You check it. So Deontay Wilder, I'm gonna read some quotes what he talked about George Foreman. He said, "Quote: He dropped a couple of gems to me. When I get some time, I'm going to see George and get some of that good old knowledge that he has up there." And Deontay Wilder's basically talking about the fight with Fury. And I made a video during the week, maybe last week, maybe earlier this week. Check it out on my timeline on YouTube. And he was basically talking, and I made the video saying that the fight is done. It's a done deal. This venue is the MGM Grand, Las Vegas. The date is TBA, to be announced due to this coronavirus. They were really shooting for July, but now they're looking at October, November. So we shall see. But he said basically, quote, about the third fight, quote, "No, I'm not surprised." This is basically when Fury was saying that, that Wilder would be Fury was basically surprised that Wilder decided to take the third fight. So Wilder said, quote, "No, I'm not surprised. I am what I am. I'm Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and nothing is going to change that. Why wouldn't I want it? There's going to be a time and place where I come out and when I say what I need to say. But looking at the fight, he knows that wasn't me. People in boxing know that wasn't the real Deontay Wilder. Something was wrong with me. Like I said, there's a time and place for it all, and I'll reveal a lot of things. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to give people what they want to see. It's more fuel to the fire. The third fight is set up to be even bigger. This is going to be the last final straw right here. That's the way I see it. I'm channeling everything in that happened and everything that happened to me. I'm cutting my grass and getting all the snakes out of my grass. It's a lot of time for me to see what's really going on. You can have a lot of people around you, but certainly jealousy you can't control. Fury should look forward to it. Don't worry if I'm going to take it or not. He should just look forward to seeing me when it's time. I know I'm a king, and I know I've led you so far, and I know I motivate. End quote. So that's Deontay Wilder, man, on that podcast on PBC, letting it be known that he's definitely eager to get back for the third fight. He talked about having bicep surgery after the fight. Um, and you keep saying that that wasn't me. Okay, they said the same thing about Fury. I'm sorry, AJ. That wasn't him. Oh, something was wrong with him. Okay, I didn't buy that stuff. To me, that was him, just like Wilder. I'm not buying it, man. Maybe the lights were too bright. You know what I mean? Maybe, look, man, there's a lot of pressure, dogs. I was watching the fight and I was telling people, man, there's a lot of pressure on this fight for Wilder. You know what I mean? He got to defend his world titles. You know what I'm saying? His world title and knocking out a big 6'9" guy like he always does, knock out everybody who steps in his path. It's gonna be the biggest task of his life. You know what I mean? I thought he would get a stoppage on Tyson Fury's feet. I thought he might get Fury hurt in my prediction and like round 10 or 11 and then pounce on him and then the referee would probably have to stop the fight because of accumulation and Tyson Fury not returning back any fire. But obviously, my prediction went wrong, but that's okay. It's boxing, you know what I mean? If I got every prediction right, I'd be a millionaire out here, you know what I mean? I'd put money on everything I say like I'm an almanac. But that's not the case. Nobody got an almanac like this Back to the Future too. Nobody gets all their predictions correct, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's all fun and games. That's why I do my predictions over here on YouTube. I ain't scared to put my neck out there because I've gotten plenty of predictions correct and even underdogs. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But Deontay Wilder, I like what I hear as far as him wanting to go back in the fight, and to me, that doesn't. I don't sense any sense of denial when he says he wants to go back and get back his world titles. But I do sense a have a sense of denial when it comes to Wilder saying that he doesn't think Fury's a champion. You know what I mean? Give the man his props. Give the man his props because that man Tyson Fury told you exactly what he about to do. Said he coming for the knockout, and that's exactly what he got. Put the man on Wilder on the canvas twice. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm very eager to see the third fight. I want to see if these excuses are going to pile up or if Deontay Wilder is going to actually right his wrongs and get back in position to be a world champion. What's up, Michael Hurd in the chat? How you feeling? He says exactly what Fury said to John on the phone. I was too big and strong for him, Dad. Spot on quote. He's absolutely right. Tyson Fury's pops, he said it too. They said they gave out their blueprint and their game plan. And Deontay Wilder had it. Maybe he didn't believe in it. But at the end of the day, you got to expect the unexpected. You know what I mean? Especially when the man put on at least 20 more pounds from the very first fight. You know what I mean? So Deontay Wilder, time will tell. These are just words he's speaking. You know what I mean? A lot of people have said a lot of dubious stuff in boxing. Some have come to fruition, some haven't. But time will tell when Deontay Wilder, if he'll get back in position to regain back his world title. You know what I mean? And now there's more on the line as far as not just the WBC, the Ring Magazine, and the lineal titles on the line too. Something that Deontay Wilder has never achieved in all those years he was defending his world titles. He hadn't even unified. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, there's a lot more incentive and a lot more at stake right now as far as trying to get back his position to get his world titles. You know what I mean? So if he does that, guess what the world will be talking about? They'll be talking about the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua for undisputed. And like I said, I ain't care nothing about no damn undisputed between Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder. I ain't care nothing about that. I never even suggested that on my channel. Why would I? Yeah, because I would look like a punk out here. Like I'd look like a punk that I don't want the man Anthony Joshua to get back in position to get his world titles. I want him to be left out freezing in the cold. Yeah, the belts are all on PBC. I'm not like that, dogs. That ain't B Marsh boxing, Slim. Be Marsh boxing, man, dogs, man. I stand on my own too, 10 tones down, you know what I mean? I don't be on the ground crawling like a caterpillar. You check it? Yeah, Andy Ruiz wasn't done yet. Andy Ruiz had a rematch and he ain't get it done. Tyson and Anthony Joshua got his belts back. So why wouldn't I want Deontay Wilder to get back in position to fight in a rematch that he's contractually obligated to? You know what I mean? Like I said, there's people out there with agendas, and then people are null and void to me. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. You check it. You know what I mean? What's the point of listening to people out here's boxing channels when these people ain't even keeping it 100? You know what I mean? They out here trying to get views, subs, and fan bases from these subs. You know what I mean? There's particular fan bases out there I can't get with them because they racist, and that's the truth. I seen them say racist stuff on black channels platforms, dogs. So B Marsh Boxing, that's why I do my thing for solo for dolo for sure here. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to control my words. This is my airways. B Marsh Boxing. Leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what y'all think about Deontay Wilder. Thanks for everybody hitting the thumbs up and participating. And thanks for nobody coming in this joint eavesdropping. I'm gone. Peace.